With this particular video, we should be in a position where we can move a little faster, because a lot of the things that we're going to be discussing with this particular proof we've already covered in previous videos. Now, looking at this proof, you have a triangle ABC and you have a point D on the line segment AC. The first thing you should notice is automatically BD is a reflexive side. So you should put that in the back of your memory banks and realize that that is going to be one of your lines for your proof. But you automatically know that the first line or the first two lines of your proof have to be given. And in this particular case, your givens are BD is an angle bisector and angle A is congruent to angle C. Those are your given statements. And being that they're your first two given statements, they have to be your first two lines of the proof. And in this case, your first line is BD is an angle bisector. The reason is given. And angle A is congruent to angle C. Again, your reason is given. And as we discussed, BD is congruent to BD because it is a reflexive side. As discussed in previous videos, reflexive sides are something that you have to be able to recognize by just looking at the figure. Now, one of our previous statements didn't have a congruency sign. So that means we have to know what an angle bisector does in order to get another congruency sign. An angle bisector cuts an angle in half. And since BD is an angle bisector, what angle is BD cutting in half? Is it cutting angle A in half? No. Is it cutting angle C in half? No. Is it cutting angle D in half? No, because D is not an angle. But it is cutting angle B in half. So now, angle B has been cut into two equal angles. Those angles are ABD. There we go. Right there. ABD and CBD. And because BD is an angle bisector, we can now say that angle ABD is congruent to angle CBD, and the reason is the definition of an angle bisector. Now, how many congruency signs do we have? We have three. We have that angle A is congruent to angle C. We have that BD is congruent to BD because it's a reflexive side. And we have that angle ABD is congruent to angle CBD. You will also notice that we have two pairs of angles and one pair of sides. We have four different angle congruency theorems. Those theorems are side, 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 angle, side, angle, and angle, angle, side. Being that we have two pairs of angles, that means we automatically can't use side, side, side. And we automatically can't use side, angle, side because we don't have enough sides. So that means our options are either angle, side, angle, or angle, angle, side. The easy way to identify this is by looking at the angles that were given to us. On the left-hand side, you see that one of our angles is angle A, and the other angle is angle ABD. I made it a point to put the angles for the same triangle on the same side of my congruency sign. Since angle A and angle ABD are on my triangle on the left, I put them on the left. Since angle C and angle CBD are my triangle on the right, I put them on the right. Makes it a little easier for me to identify which one of the four I'm going to use. And this is how we're going to do it. On the left hand side, I have angle A. Also for that left hand side, the vertex for my angle ABD is the letter B. Since A is a vertex and B is a vertex, the only way I'd be able to use angle side angle is if AB was the side that was in my congruency. And as you see, AB isn't my congruency side. BD is my congruency side. Same thing works for my other side. My angle is C for my first angle. The vertex of my second angle is B. So that means that my congruency side would have to be CB. And as you see, it is not CB. It is again BD. So since the vertices for my angles do not create my congruent sides, that means that my congruency theorem has to be angle, angle, side. And as we discussed in a previous proof, we automatically know what the last line of our proof has to be. And in this case, the last line of our proof is that angle, oh my fault, line segment AB is congruent to line segment CB. Not only do we automatically know the last line of the proof, we also know the last reason. And our last reason is always CPCTC. So on this particular problem, you already knew what your first two lines were. BD is an angle bisector. The reason is given. Angle A is congruent to angle C. The reason is given. And you already knew what your last line was. AB is congruent to CB, and the reason is CPCTC. So out of the 12 possible answers in this 6-line proof, you automatically knew 50% of the proof before you even started. It is your job to get to the point and proficient enough to fill in the rest.